Hello，大家好，欢迎来到大师英文。今天为您带来的故事是迪士尼2016年的畅销电影《关键少数》。现在，让我们开始吧。In the hills of West Virginia, a young girl named Catherine loved to count. She counted the steps to the road, the dishes she washed, and the stars in the sky. Catherine was a math prodigy, a child with exceptional talent. Her teachers knew she was special and moved her to a high school for advanced students. Years later, in 1961, Catherine was a grown woman working at NASA. She carpooled to work with her two best friends, Dorothy and Mary. One day, their car broke down on the side of the road.
Dorothy, we're going to be late. We might lose our jobs.
Dorothy was under the car, trying to fix the starter with a screwdriver. Suddenly, a police car pulled up behind them with sirens blaring. A white police officer stepped out, looking suspicious.
What are you three doing out here?
We are just on our way to work, officer, at NASA.
NASA? I didn't know they hired, well, people like you.
The officer realized their importance in the space race against Russia.
Follow me. We need to get you to work to beat those Russians.
With a police escort, the women sped down the highway to Langley Research Center. At NASA, things were segregated. Black women worked in the West Computing Group. They were called computers because they did all the calculations by hand. Catherine was a widow with 3 daughters, balancing work and family. One Sunday at a church picnic, she met a handsome man named Jim Johnson. Jim was a National Guard officer, but he was skeptical about her job.
They let women handle that kind of heavy math at NASA?
They let women do some things, Mr. Johnson, and it's not because we wear skirts. It's because we wear glasses.
Jim realized he had misjudged her, but Catherine walked away with her head high. Back at work, the space test group needed a mathematician who could handle analytic geometry. Catherine was assigned to the group, led by the demanding Al Harrison. She walked into a room full of white men in white shirts. People stared at her. They mistook her for the custodian. Mr. Harrison did not care about race, only about the math.
We need to put a man in space before the Russians do. Can you handle the numbers?
Yes, sir. I can handle any numbers you give me.
However, Catherine faced daily humiliation. There was no bathroom for colored women in the building. She had to run half a mile across the campus to use the restroom. She ran in heels in the rain, clutching her files. Meanwhile, Dorothy Vaughan was doing the work of a supervisor. Her white supervisor, Mrs. Mitchell, treated her coldly. NASA refused to give Dorothy the title or the pay she deserved. One day, Dorothy saw a massive machine being installed. It was the IBM 70090, a computer that could do calculations faster than human. Dorothy realized that this machine would make her team obsolete. If we don't learn how to program this beast, we will be out of a job. She went to the library to find a book on Fortran. The librarian scolded her for being in the whites-only section. Dorothy took the book anyway, telling her sons she paid taxes for the library too. Back at the office, Catherine was struggling with redacted documents. The engineers blacked out important data because it was classified.
How can I calculate the trajectory if I can't see the numbers?
She held the paper up to the light and deciphered the hidden data. The third friend, Mary Jackson, was working in the wind tunnel. She was helping test the space capsule's resistance to wine. Her high heel got stuck in the floor grating, almost causing an accident. The lead engineer, Mr. Zielinski, saw her potential.
You should be an engineer, Mary. You have an engineer's mind.
But she needed to take classes at Hampton High School, which was segregated. Mary decided to petition the court for permission to attend. She stood before a judge, explaining why she should be the first.
Your Honor, out of all the cases you hear today, which one will matter in 100 years? Which one will make you the first?
The judge granted her permission to attend night classes. Back at NASA, tension was building. Mr. Harrison was angry because Catherine was always missing from her desk.
Where do you go every day? Why are you gone for 40 minutes?
Catherine? Soaking wet from the rain! Finally exploded!
There are no colored bathrooms in this building. I have to walk to Timbuktu just to relieve myself. And I work like a dog, living off coffee from a pot none of you want to touch.
The room fell completely silent. Mr. Harrison picked up a crowbar and marched to the West Campus. He smashed the sign that said Colored Ladies' Room.
Here at NASA, we all pee the same color.
It was a victory, but the biggest challenge was still ahead. John Glenn was scheduled to orbit the Earth. The math for his re-entry was incredibly complex. They needed to transition the capsule from an elliptical orbit to a parabolic trajectory. The math to calculate this didn't even exist yet. Catherine insisted on attending the briefings to solve it. She argued that she couldn't do her job without the full picture. In the meeting, she walked to the blackboard.
Euler's method. It's ancient, but it works.
She calculated the landing zone immediately, stunning the generals. Meanwhile, Dorothy had secretly taught her entire team how to program. When NASA realized they needed operators for the IBM, Dorothy was ready.
I'm not accepting the job unless I bring my ladies with me.
She marched her team down the hall to the new computer room. Mrs. Mitchell watched them go, finally showing a hint of respect. The day of the launch arrived. The whole world was watching. But suddenly, there was a problem with the IBM computer. The numbers it spit out didn't look right. John Glenn, already suited up, refused to launch.
Get the girl to check the numbers. If she says they're good, I'm ready to go.
Catherine had been transferred back to the West Group. A staff member ran to find her. They need you. Catherine furiously calculated the trajectory by hand. She handed the results to the engineer just in time. The numbers matched The launch was a go. Harrison invited Catherine into the control room to watch. The rocket blasted off, carrying Glenn into space. Everyone cheered, but the danger wasn't over yet. A warning light indicated that the heat shield might be loose. If the shield failed, the capsule would burn up on re-entry. The control room was silent with fear. They instructed Glenn to keep the retro rockets attached. They hoped the straps would hold the heat shield in place. As the capsule entered the atmosphere, radio contact was lost. Minutes passed like hours. Catherine prayed silently. Suddenly, Glenn's voice crackled over the radio.
Boy, that was a real fireball!
He had survived. He splashed down safely in the ocean. The room erupted in cheers. Catherine smiled with relief. Jim Johnson watched the news, finally understanding Catherine's brilliance. He went to her house and proposed to her, promising to support her dreams. Thanks to these three women, America had taken a huge step forward. Dorothy became the first African-American supervisor at NASA. Mary became NASA's first female African-American engineer. And Katherine Johnson went on to calculate the trajectory for the Apollo 11 moon landing. Their contributions were hidden for a long time, but now we know their names. They were the hidden figures who helped us reach the stars. Through hard work and intelligence, they broke down barriers. Toyale showed us the power of adaptation and leadership. Mary showed us the importance of fighting for our rights. And Catherine showed us that genius has no race. Before we finish, let's remember one small but powerful moment. When Mr. Harrison gave Catherine a pearl necklace as a wedding gift. It symbolized respect and acceptance, something she had fought hard for. She married Colonel Jim Johnson, and they lived happily for over 50 years. He had learned that underestimating Catherine was a mistake. Even with the new computers, the human mind remained essential. Technology is a tool, but it requires human judgment. The story of Hidden Figures inspires us to look beyond prejudices. It teaches us to value talent wherever it is found. In 2015, Katherine Johnson was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. It is the highest civilian honor in the United States. NASA also named a computation research facility after her. Although Mary and Dorothy had passed away, their legacy lives on. They opened doors for future generations of women in science. So the next time you look at the moon, remember them. Remember the computers who wore skirts. Remember the women who ran the numbers. Remember Catherine, Dorothy, and Mary. Their story reminds us that excellence cannot be segregated, and that, together, we can achieve the impossible. Now, imagine yourself in a challenging situation. Would you have the courage to speak up like Catherine? Would you have the foresight to prepare like Dorothy? Would you have the persistence to fight like Mary? These questions are worth asking ourselves. History is full of unsung heroes. By telling their stories, we honor their struggle. And we inspire the next generation to dream big. We hope you enjoyed this incredible story of triumph. There is so much more to learn from history. Keep exploring, keep reading, and keep learning. Thank you for joining us on Master English.
听故事学英文是英文进步最好的方式。大师英文，谢谢您的收看。